Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a tutorial on how to paint this beautiful tropical sunset. This is a very easy tutorial for beginners and anyone can try it. If you want tips and tricks on how to paint this, keep watching. So we're going to start off by drawing a line about 1/4 of the height from the bottom of the paper. And I'm going to use this lemon yellow paint to basically paint a sort of mountain-y shape across the bottom. So we just want a nice thin layer of this paint. And then I'm going to take Vermillion, which is a sort of yellowish orange color. And I'm just going to paint a clean line across the top of the yellow, but I'm also going to make it a sort of a triangle. We don't want this to be super symmetric, just because most realistic sunsets aren't. And a tip here is to make sure that your paint is very wet. That makes it easier to blend. Also for acrylic paints, it's generally a good idea to keep your paint wet because once it dries, it's really hard to make it wet again. Okay, now I'm going to take this crimson color and mix it with some white to create pink. And this just creates a nice additional dimension of color on the sky. This is sort of an abstract sunset painting, which is really cool, bright colors. This will make a really nice wall art. Now I'm taking Ultramarine Blue, which is this super bright royal blue shade, and I'm gonna mix that with a whole bunch of white to create sky blue. Another tip is to look into color theory and try to learn how to mix different colors. I myself had to learn a lot of color theory just to figure out how to create the colors that I wanted to create, when I realized that with the colors that I have right now, I can't create a purple just because the specific red and blue shades that I have don't mix into a nice pink or purple shade. So the only way I can create pink is to just mix some white into my pinkish red shade. And make sure you just blend all of these colors together really well. Take some white paint to fill in the boundaries. Okay, now I'm going to take this white paint and ultramarine that we just used, and we're gonna create the ocean. So I'm just placing some blobs of white paint in the middle. That's just gonna make it a little bit easier to blend later. And the way I like to paint oceans is lots of small, short strokes, because we don't want this to be a perfect smooth blend. We want a lot of texture here. So a lot of small strokes are going to create the appearance of waves. So I'm just going in and building up the color. And every time I go in, I'm going to create these wave motions. So I'm going to take the smaller brush here, and I'm going to create these short horizontal lines to simulate waves. And when you get to the middle, make sure you mix in a little bit of that white so you're consistent with the color blending that you did in the background. Okay, now I'm just going to go in with a brush with no paint and just a little bit of water to smooth out the edges so the waves look a little bit more blended. Okay, now I'm taking mostly white and a little bit of yellow to create the sun, which is pretty much just a circle, and then we're going to do those waves again with this color. Okay, I'm taking this lamp black shade and I'm gonna draw out this land, and you can pretty much have fun with this, make it whatever shape or size that you want. Another quick tip, whenever you want to draw anything with black paint, make sure you start with smaller lines and then build up the lines. Once you make your lines too thick, or once you mess up with black paint, it's really hard to take it back. Now I'm going to take this much smaller brush and just make these strokes to create coconut tree branches. So just start out with a firm grip on the brush, and then as you get to the edge, make really quick motions like this so that the tip of the leaves will be thin. And this honestly just takes practice. Just take a piece of paper and try to just create these strokes, just quick motions. And what I like to do is I like to start with small branches and then build my way up to larger branches. So as you see here, I made my branch really small. And then once I do that, I'm just going to extend it, because once you make it too large, like I said earlier, it's really hard to undo darker shades of paint. Okay, so for the dolphin, this is super easy. Just draw a crescent shape and little triangles for wings and another triangle for the tail. And while you're painting, you can feel free to add as many elements as you want based on what your painting looks like, and if it feels like it's missing anything in one of the sections, just fill it up with more detail. That's how I generally like to paint. And here we have it. I hope you guys enjoyed this really cool acrylic painting tutorial. If you guys like to see more painting tutorials like this, let me know down below, and make sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell notification right next to it so you'll be notified next time I make new videos. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.